Yes, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Draw My Life Prison Wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and paints for justice. Hoping, girl, to see justice before all phase two bled. Yes, it's your girl Cadillac. Anyways, let's get right on into it. Let's get this little ring light on. If y'all caught my last live, where I was actually trying to fix my little iPhone, my cousin's like, Keita, Cadillac, just take the SIM card out. And I'm like, what? Let me tell you, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. So it actually worked. Took the SIM card out and now I'm back in business with my little phone. So that part is solved for today. So let's get into it. We're gonna finish reviewing this video we were watching. Move that out the way. Ugh. I hate when stuff is all over the place. We're gonna finish working on my Trey King Project Reach the World drawing, and then we're gonna listen to this video where Jaguar Wright. Oh, please don't fall over. I got this rigged up, y'all already know. Okay, Jaguar Wright was talking about Ice Cube coming out saying that private prisons are owned by record labels. And now, girl, I fell asleep researching this because I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, which really I shouldn't be like surprised about something like that, honestly. And hold on a second. I should not be surprised about anything like that because it's like things that you can almost, all the pieces are there in front of you. It just takes you putting them together to see. And I'm like, yeah, I should be able to see that because in the 90s you seen a lot of, it was everything glorified. Like I fell in love with hip hop. And that's where my last video had left off. I fell in love with hip hop. And back then, in those 90s, you had a choice in hip hop. Sure, there was this thing coming of age of gangster rap, but you had the roots of hip hop are positive. The roots in hip hop were like telling cautionary tales. Even though they told the street life, they also told what would happen. Just like one of my guys I love, Willie D. lied. He always says that yes, he did rap about those things, but he also told how the story ends. He didn't sugarcoat it. He told how you end up in the pen and you end up there and this and that. And y'all already know my little Willie D. I was rapping his verse, my mind's playing tricks on me as I was drawing him for my project Reach the World. Let's see, can I find that real quick? And then we'll get into it. But he shouted me out because he was like, whoever rapped that embodied me to the fullest. And like the person drawing is really awesome as well. But I don't think he knew that actually I was doing both. I was the artist and the artist rapping. Like, but that ended up on his Instagram, and I literally thought I had reached the person that I need to reach for Project Reach the World, girl. Because Willie D, yes, he be on top of it. But shortly after that, I promise his Instagram got shut down because y'all know they always messing with him because he's trying to get that truth out there, and they literally do not want the truth revealed worth nothing. They want everyone to stay in this illusion, but it's like the illusion is kind of like shattering. So I don't know what they're gonna do. Okay, let's see if I can find it, and then we'll get back to this story. Oh wait, I think I might have found it. This was also on my TikTok, but they deleted my TikTok. Let's play this though. So. Hold on. It's playing too. Stop playing the other one. Okay, play this one. Okay, this is me doing Willie D. My mind's playing tricks on me. This is my project, Reach the World. Let me start it over. But I rapped his verse. And I was drawing him for Project Reach the World. He was so amazed by it. I make big money, I drive big cars, everybody knows me. It's like I'm a movie star, but late at night, or something ain't right. I think I'm being told by the same sort of headlights. Isn't that thing that I ran off the block? Or isn't that big last week that I shot? Or is it the one I beat for $5,000? Daddy head came, but it was gold metal flowers. We turned up a seat, right up for them suckers. Ain't no use of the line, I was scared with a mother club. But the left of the top pies and better that quick, and if you're going down and get this shit over with, here it comes, just like I'm thinking. I got my hand on the mother gun. When I saw him make your ass start giggling, freak like everybody crazy, senior citizens. Live by the sword, and take my boys everywhere I go. Because I'm paranoid. Keep looking over my shoulder. Peek around corners. My mind playing tricks on me. Yes. Hit it one more time. It's like I'm a movie star, but late at night, or something ain't right. I feel I'm getting tailed by the same sucker headlights. Yes. Or is it that nick last week that I shot? Uh-oh. But it was gold metal powder. Grab a popper for them suckers. Ain't no use in me lying. I was scared than a motherfucker. Everything quick. Get this over with. Here they come, just like I figure. Make it start giggling. Senior citizens, I live by the sword. I take my everywhere I go because I'm paranoid. Peek around corners. My mind playing tricks on me. So that right there, y'all see this. This is me. That's from an art piece that I did, Blinded by Injustice. Was it called Blind? I don't even remember what the piece was called, girl. But that's me with my hands tied, gagged, and literally on the side of me you have a judge, you got officers, you got other people standing around. They all blindfolded and just sitting there, standing like casually, as though I'm not being silenced, as though the injustice is not happening, as though. I gotta find the full piece that I did. But that was really nice. But that's me with hands bound. Like, that's how you feel in this situation. It is something going on. You need help. You need justice. But literally, the people that are in the system are the ones withholding the justice. So literally, how do you get help? But that's my project, Reach the World. But back to what I was saying, that the music industry back then, we had people like that. Like, even though Willie D was talking about Streetlight, he was telling you what happens after. Just like there was this one song, I can't remember who made it, but it was, I can't call home, the locust on his own. Mom's is tripping, she got a block on the phone. Like, he's basically saying, hey, you know, I'm out here, I went to jail, and now I can't even call my mama because she done blocked the phone, girl. Like, telling you the truth about what happens. So if you do tell what's happening in the streets, because nowadays, the hip hop and rap music is basically, it's telling street life, but it's literally not telling any lessons. You're learning no lessons. You're just learning how to be deep in that street life, and they're basically promoting it through music. Now, had another song. Hip hop was in the streets, not industry. It was raw, rough, rugged. It was gritty. Hip hop shed light on things that wasn't mainstream, but not every picture that it painted was pretty. Hip hop was an expression of things that we've been suppressing, and now we the people finally had a voice. Music is so powerful, but we don't tap into that no more. And now the same art form we created now exploits us. Yes, the same art form we created now coming back to attack the artist. That's basically like my little Trey King picture coming up and out of me, girl. Our art form now weaponized against us. I have been saying this. But anyway, back to that. There was choice back then. Like literally, you didn't have to just listen to bang, bang, bang and stuff like that and sexual music. They had all kinds of stuff, all kinds of hip hop. You had the people from up north that was spitting the knowledge and breaking stuff down and talk about history. You had Nas telling us that we were kings and stuff. And I got another one. Let me think of it. I don't practice my raps anymore because they pushed me up out the industry, so I don't even practice my raps no more like that. Okay. I can't think of it. I got a whole different one stuck in my head, but let's just spit that one since this is somewhat relevant. But it was about Nas. Okay, but this one, let me just hit this one since it's in my head. Maybe it's meant to be. Okay. Hold on. That one just left my head and now another one in my head. Girl, stop it. Girl, stop. Okay, hold on. Oh, yeah. Life's ugly truths wrapped up in beautiful lies. Like a bride revealing to her groom her not so beautiful side. Her lights up and downs like a roller coaster ride. Ain't like gravity that can hold me down like Maya said and still I rise. Revealing all the truths like I'm a detector of lies. All men created equal, no I don't believe the hype. If God can make a blind man see or a blind Cadillac see, I pray he open your third eye. You don't learn your history, then you're doomed to repeat it. And this word to the wise. That's why I miss my man Pac. He was kicking knowledge to the youth. Verses full of pain and struggle on the beats. Yes, like he literally had knowledge wrapped up in everything. And if you look at even Tupac, he came out with that Brenda. Brenda's got a baby. But then later, you even seen that he was trying to be on that political tip. He was trying to uplift his people. And it was basically like, no, Pac, we finna, this is how you finna do. This is what you got to put out here. So he put out some other songs, the little Biggie diss. And he had the, I get around, da, 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 I get around. But he was not only coming out with just one type of music. Girl, let me even get in on Trick Daddy. Girl, anything that came out on the radio by Trick Daddy, for the most part, was all like, it was substances, it was street life, it was this and that. But if you ever listen to a Trick Daddy Dollar album, like, girl, he had a lot of enlightening songs. That's why they always said Trick love the kids, because like he was dropping knowledge, like literally, like, and the industry was not pushing out those songs. They wouldn't push those songs out. They wouldn't make those songs singles. There's no way they're going to make that a single when they have this street activity song that could do more detriment. See, both songs are powerful. And that's what it is. Both songs are powerful. That song talking to the youth, just like Nas, I know I can be what I want to be. If I work hard at it, I'll be where I want to be. Be, boys and girls. Girl, let me tell you. And then, what was Renee? Y'all remember Lost Boys? A ghetto law is the law that we live by. Day by day, I wonder why my homie had to die. Give it up for my ghetto prince. Every day I give it up for my homie. Yes. That was talking about his girlfriend that he loved to life, basically getting outed in street violence. Like she got powed. And it's like just showing the woes of all of this that's going on. Soon after, and then you had Eve, love is blind. and it'll take over your mind. Now, who thought Eve wasn't cute and doing it up and had the little shape and all that? You know, she came out pleasantly plump like your girl, but they had her size down and had her with the little nice dresses and fits and all of that after like her second album came out. But she was the what was she the dang, I can't remember her slogan, but something pit bull in a skirt. Girl, she was all of that. The girl could rap, everything, and she also had the sexuality. But she also was putting out knowledge. She was talking about domestic violence. Like for real. Like where is our next Eves? What Lauren Hill? How you gonna win when you ain't right within? How you gonna win when you ain't right within? How you gonna girlfriend come again? I cut it out a little bit, but girl, I gotta get back to my rapping to remember all my lyrics. But she had a positive message, but over time, and then people love to tell me when I say that I was a female rapper, and they'll be like, oh, so, and I'd be like, but I wasn't able to make it. You can't make it as a female rapper, to be honest, unless the first thing you're willing to sell out. You got to be willing to sell out. You got to be willing to put out any and everything that you are told to put out, whether it's against your morals and values or not, because now you're used as a tool to get these messages to the youth. And these are the messages we want. We don't necessarily want those uplifting messages out to the youth, because I mean, like I'm saying, that it doesn't fit their narrative. It does not fit their narrative, right? So if you're going to be a female rapper, and I was told this by basically it was somebody in the industry, y'all know I was getting to them people because I was using my artwork. I was not going in on no groupie type tip. I would make something called Project Reach the World. Say this is Jermaine Dupri. Let's pretend this is Jermaine Dupri. I'm going to meet Mr. Jermaine Dupri, and I'm finna tell him, hey, I'm a female rapper. I am making music about our current justice system. I was inspired to do that after my husband was wrongfully convicted and excessively sentenced in the state of Florida. He's incarcerated. I'm trying to get a song out. I only wanted it on my local radio station. That's all I was actually aiming for, to get it on my local radio station, to get my community talking, to get my community working and moving, and getting my husband free. It was a simple plan, but it did not go so simply, right? So I would explain it to him. I would have this, either I started out with pencil and paper, then I started hand painting these on t-shirts. So I would have the Fruity Balloons t-shirt, and I would paint it with acrylic paint, so you have this gigantic, nice, beautiful masterpiece. And then I also am a licensed cosmetologist, so I would make some type of hair sculpture. So if I was going to see So Def, I would probably do like maybe they had a cute little cartoon character back then that was with the So Def. I don't know if it was part of their logo or not, but I would probably get something like that, or a record or something cool, and it would just be a big, huge, nice hairpiece that would gain a lot of attention. And it would be like when I would walk in the room, literally, if you tried to ignore me, you'd be like, that crazy ass girl. What the heck she got on her? Oh my God. Like, you'd be looking out the side of your eye. Oh, girl, can I take a picture with you? And I'd be like, oh yeah, come on, girl, let's take a picture. Hold up my artworks and such as we taking a picture with this crazy hair on top. And people literally would remember me by my hair. Then they would see the art, and then I would tell them the story. Now, attached to the art would be my CD back then, because this was the mid-2000s, and it would have my music on it. It would have that music about what happened with my husband. It had some songs or whatever, because I was told that, hey, people don't want to hear all that heavy stuff. You got to make some fun songs. So I had this song called Neck Bones and Collard Greens, girl. That was one of my biggest songs, but even that had meaning in it as well. And it was like I would package it all together and give it to them. Like, girl, who you see got as much talent as I got? I mean, there are people, and I'm not trying to brag. I just got a excess of talent. I honestly do. And I haven't been able to show you guys here on YouTube all my talents. I have so many. And the thing is, by me being an artist, I'm almost like I'm more of a Renaissance woman. And being a Renaissance woman kind of hurts you. It's good and it's bad. You do so many things so extremely well that it's hard for you to be passionate about one thing. And you're literally passionate about every single one of your crafts, right? I'm just as passionate about justice as I am about art. I was so over passionate about music. Like, I learned music, I lived music, I breathe music. Like, I'm into it. Like, I'm not just up there spin some little raps or whatever like that. I wanted to learn the culture. I wanted to learn the background. I studied all types of artists. I knew all artists. I would love to learn somebody's road to success, and I love to find out when they made it, because I always would find encouragement with those that didn't just make it off the rip when they were children, those that made it later in their life, like Carrie Hilson made it when she was 27 years old. Hey, baby, that gives me hope. Girl, you're not too old to make it. You know what I'm saying? I would learn people's backstory. Who's connected to who, connected to who? Where did this come from? How they started doing beats like this and that. And I started trying to learn how to do graffiti and this and that. And like, I lived and slept and breathed it. I'm passionate about it. But I'm just as passionate about YouTube. Like, how you do YouTube, how you break this algorithm, how you do keywords, when I get into something, I am just so into it. And it's like, how do I just pick one passion? And that's what's so difficult and hard when it comes to me. We could have been talking while I was doing all of this. I mean, we could have been drawing while I was doing all of this. But the thing was, they basically just didn't want me in there. And the reason they didn't want me in there is because they knew I was coming with a message. And I was told that. I was like, this one guy told me, he was like, basically, we can make any girl rap. And back then, I looked really good. I had a cute little face, cute little shape. Everything was not, I used to keep my hair done because I was a cosmetologist, always with these wild styles. Like, I had the package, like literally. I literally had the package, honestly. I could have been marketed. I'm gonna have to show you some of my older pictures when I was out there. So I clearly could have been marketable. But he was like, we can make any female rap. And I'm like, for real? I even wrote a song about that. It's saying, they say females can't rap as good as dudes. Man, take that back. I'm a female, guess I'll have to show and prove. It's your girl Cadillac. They say all females have to do is look good, make any girl a star. But can you make her sweet on the mic as me and a vicious spitting bars? That's for them Build-A-Bear O's, I suppose, cause their old career is built on silicone. But as for me, not just anything goes. I ain't gonna spit it, I ain't gonna wax it if it don't sit well with my soul. Yeah, it's your girl Cadillac. Yes. I'm not gonna spit it, I'm not gonna wax it if it don't sit well with my soul. And that's the thing, like, I was not willing, like, the guy's like, how much are you willing to change about yourself to be in the industry? And I'm like, I mean, we can enhance what I got. Yes, I'm not perfect. But as far as changing my message, no, I'm not putting any and everything out there. Even look at Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj was a whole different person when she was underground. She had to literally change everything about her to get into the industry. And when I would say, I didn't really like her music like that, people would just be like, oh, you're just hating. You're just mad because she made it and you didn't. And it really wasn't that. I grew up around hip hop, and I seen that was not masterful hip hop. That was not anything that was uplifting. That was not, she got a lot better over time. But she was putting out an image that I did not, at that time I had a little girl, And I used to hate that my little girl and all her friends wanted to be nothing but Nicki Minaj. Like, I'm sorry, Nicki Minaj, but that was nothing for my little girl to look up to. And I couldn't stand it. And all of the nasty talking to music and this and that, which I'm sure now people are like Meg Thee Stallion. Now, I didn't follow her career. People are saying that, like, I had someone tell me Meg was like a battle rapper. Like, you literally, like, she got them lyrics for days. But now, what is she doing? She's promoting sex like everybody else. Like, it's just a sex promotion. That's all female hip hop is. And that's not what all a female hip hop artist was. It's like you've reduced us all the way down to nothing but sex. That's it. A woman has nothing else to say, to deliver, to have, to anything but what's between her legs. Like, literally, that's downgrading. And I do not want to give that message to the youth, that all you have to offer a man is what's between your legs and stuff like that. That's definitely not the message I would put out. And because of that, and when I was writing my lyrics, writing my songs and stuff like that, I literally would look for every topic besides sex, my purses, my bags, my shoes. And what else do female rappers rap about? I don't think they rap about too much else. Sex and they possessions, they cars, they rides, they with the men that got all the money. Besides that, I don't think they rap about too much of anything else. Nothing with substance. And I literally couldn't, because I felt like I had to answer to God for that. Like, Cadillac, you had this platform. I gave you a platform, and you literally did nothing with it. You could have actually changed a lot in this world. You could have brought about that justice you so desired for yourself. You could have provided that for the next generation, or you could have prevented that next young man, because my music wasn't just geared to the women. It was a cautionary tale to the men that's out there in the street. Like, hey, think about it. You're gonna be leaving your whole family behind. And it's cool when you're young, but think about when you're growing up. Once you've grown, like, literally, it could have been cool that Marcella was locked up. But how cool is it now? He's missed his daughter's whole life. She was 2 months old when he went to jail wrongfully. And now, when he went off to prison, she was 9 months old. The girl done graduated from college, to had a baby of herself, and he still ain't gonna be out until our grandchild is almost grown. Is that cool? That's cool? You think that's cool? You think that's the flex? That ain't the flex. But that's where the street life gets you. If it don't get, you taking your child to the grave to visit them. That's what it gets us. And it's like we have to let them know, just like I have another one. Statistic. They have statistic over us as black females and black males. And after I do this one song, because y'all know I can go on and on and on, I'm going to find this video. I'll try to not chime in so much, girl, but it be hard. It be hard. But I'm going to do this one verse. I'm going to find the video, and I'm going to let that play while I work on Trey King. Right, okay. So statistic. We have statistics over us as black males, as black females. Well, black people, period. I'm not a black male. But black males, black females, the children, African Americans, period, have statistics placed over their lives. And this is what they're actually expecting us to grow up to be. And I feel like that's basically a predestination, predestining a child to be something. When you don't know what the child could be. The child could be something great, but you're already predestining them to be something below average, subhuman. You're already predestining them. And I started feeling like, it's basically like you are writing a child off before they've even had the time to, that's basically what they're doing. So let me hit that. It's called statistically. And then after I do that, we're gonna find that night and day video we were watching, and we're gonna watch that as I work on Trey King. And my little granddaughter gonna be home soon, girl. So we gonna hang out with the little grandchild and my daughter. So that is my life, right? Okay. Statistics. Statistically, hold on. Statistically, I done became what they thought I'd be. A young single black mother with no degree. Well, if this the game, it seems like it was rigged up to me. He am massive fiances and don't lie to me. Now statistically, he done became what y'all thought he'd be. A young black male in jail or on the streets. Well, if this the game, it seems like it was rigged up to me. He am massive fiances and don't lie to me. So much potential. Why the heck I'm working 9 to 5? Ends ain't close to me. How the heck am I gonna survive? And yeah, I know I'm working, but why I can't get food stamps too? Tamika and Candy get them, and they ain't got no job to go to. Oh, I guess it's because I didn't put the kid down on child support, but he was taking care of his kid to the day they sentenced him in court. Man, I wish I listened, took my hot tail to school. Then hot-tailed it to college and learned to sing the golden rule. Instead, I found comfort in a man that meant me good. And it ain't no commitment. And too many chickens in the hood. I wish somebody told me, baby girl, you're beautiful. You're smart, intelligent. You could be anything that you want, but it's a little too late to sit and cry over this spilled milk. My problems today is a direct effect of my pattern and my consequences. Man, I had so much going for myself. Who knew my life would end up this way? Now statistically, he done became what y'all thought he'd be. A young single I'm sorry, I messed up. Now statistically, I done became what they thought I'd be. A young single black mother with no degree. Well, if this the game, it seems like it was rigged up to me. He am massive fiances and don't lie to me. Now statistically, he done became what y'all thought he'd be. A young black male in jail or on the streets. Well, if this the game, it seems like it was rigged out to me. He am massive fiances and don't lie to me. Now from the get-go, they told him that he wouldn't be none. He wouldn't amount to none. Look at him now, he exactly what they told him. Like they predestined him to be. Statistically, the epitome. Huddy's gutter grimy streets. He wears his pants down to the floor, cause that's all he know. Ain't like his father was there to tell her, maybe show him. Now he's a player, pimp, a gangster, and everything been in between. But can you really actually blame him? The streets done chased off his dream. See, the streets is his reality show. And he's the star. He gets the money, the bling, the women, the fancy cars. But somebody please tell him the ending, because I don't think he knows. The ground to jail for 20 is how it goes. You see, when a baby is born, his mind is just like clay. You gotta mold it and tell him that, baby, it'll be okay. You gotta tell him that he is a king. And women's queens, you gotta tell him to never give up on his dreams. Now statistically, I done became what they thought I'd be. A young single black mother with no degree. Well, if this the game, it seems like it was rigged up to me. He am massive fiances and don't lie to me. Now statistically, he done became what y'all thought he'd be. A young black male in jail or on the streets. Well, if this the game, it seems like it was rigged up to me. He am massive fiances and don't lie to me. Yeah, it's your girl Cadillac. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had a couple tongue twisters there. But like I said, I don't even practice my verses anymore, which I should. But I kind of gave up because my music wasn't really, flourishing the way I thought it would. So I stopped practicing it. But that's what those are. Those are fumbles. But when I fumble, I just pick up the ball and just keep on running. But statistically, they've already predestined us to be, and for the black male, predestinations are dead or in jail. That's pretty much the statistic of a black male. Now, there are so many that beat that statistic, and you can beat that statistic. You do not have to play into what they predestined you to be. You could be the total opposite. I technically was following their predestination. I was that single mother by force, not choice. Got a song about that too, but I ain't gonna hit you with it right now. But I was that single mother with no degree, just out here struggling. Single mother, but see me, I was trying to get. They talk about how black women be on welfare. I was trying to get some type of assistance, but couldn't get it because when you do work, they don't give you that assistance. They say you make too much, and I'm like, make too much of what? What I make too much of? Cause I ain't got no money. Like, girl, my finances going to bed. But they won't help you. They help those that literally the system was supposed to be a hand up, but they made it where it was basically like a hindrance. They only help those that were planning on just staying on the system. If you were in school, I think they would help you if you just went to school. But if you had any type of job, they'll be trying to cut you off. So there would be people that would just quit the job because they're like they don't want to be cut off. But then you never move up and you stay in that perspective place. And that could be the plan, to keep you in that perspective place. But so I'm gonna find that video. I got a little bit more. What I was doing, I take after I do all my shading with my pencil, I come in with the napkin, tissue, whatever. They even have blending stumps for those perfect prim artists. Girl, I ain't no perfect prim artist by a long shot. So long shot, I'm sorry. So girl, I ain't trying to buy all them little stubs and stuff, the perfect stuff for it. So I just use paper towel. Okay, so let's play that and finish up Trey King, and they should be walking through this door any moment. But yeah, hip hop, they use the art form to they use this art form, this beautiful art form of hip hop. They used it to basically, come back and get us, to strengthen this prison system, prison industry. That's so sad. What if we predestine our black men to win rather than to fail? Why are we, before they're born, saying that they're going to be the failure of the society? Why? Why? I literally cannot understand that. And anybody that has a black son or a black father or a black husband, why are we okay with it? You're writing them off before they. I don't get it. I'm sorry. I don't think I ever get that. Okay, now I think I might have to go further down my history because I don't remember when I watched this. Okay, let's do it like this. Let's look at night and day. And then see, can we find it through there? Here it is. Okay, Jaguar Wright speaks on Ice Cube exposing record label, private prison, and Tyrese. We're not talking about Tyrese at the moment, but so let's just jump back into this.
Wow.
Let's rewind a little bit.
Really geared.
Now, when I was reviewing this while I was doing my nephew's hair, my storage went full on my laptop. I mean, on my tablet. So that's why it cut off, like, just abruptly cut off.
To push people towards that prison industry. But they didn't make you write those lyrics. It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about
blocking those that write other lyrics. That's what it's about. You don't have to write those lyrics, but if you don't write those lyrics, you ain't getting through them doors.
Being there as guardrails, who benefits and profits off are to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't. Certain flavors are exposed on the record. You know, some records are made by committee, meaning record company guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this. We're gonna have this guy write the lyrics. We're gonna have that.
You know, these platforms, social media are like that too. If you have, like, you see how he's saying certain songs will get through. If you have certain messages, like specifically online, you gotta kind of not have a message. And if you do have a message, it gotta kind of be universal to where it's not gonna have any controversy in it. Like almost like let's save the whales and let's save the oceans, something like that. People might get behind you like full heartedly. I think I could save a whale before I could save Marcello Jackson, a black man. I'm sure I can start a campaign to free Willie, and that will get more momentum, like Pop said, before freeing my husband, a black man. So if you come on social media and have like these regular non-confrontational just channels that are basically either just being really silly, doing hair. We could be ratchet. You could be ratchet online. You could put out these bad stereotypes, and those will get picked up. Those will be all flooded through the social media algorithm. But if you're trying to do anything that is gonna change anything in our lives as African Americans, it's gonna be hard. That algorithm is gonna bury you. I know all the time I think, you know, Keita, you gotta stop talking about what you talk about. That is literally is what is hurting your channel. Your channel would take off if you would just leave it alone. And it is so freaking hard for me to drop the message out of what I'm doing. Is for me, it's hard for me to basically just sell out. That'll be a sellout for me. I have the knowledge. I know what is happening, and I don't want to speak up because it will not get me seen or heard. Right? That's almost like selling out, and it's so hard for me to do that. Just make meaningless content, meaningless music. But I know the minute I do that, I probably will get monetized like super duper fast. That's why I kind of started my other channels, and I do intend on doing like nothing that has anything to do with any type of justice on it. It might just be all my artwork. It could be just teaching something. Like I said, I started a channel. I was supposed to be teaching people to draw and teaching graphic design. Like I literally got to start getting on those channels and spending more time over there. But it's just my heart is so invested into this. But I have to, like, we were listening to Alicia Renese yesterday. Sometimes you gotta let go, and for me it is so hard to let go. I have got to let go of this justice, honestly, because justice, like Lauryn Hill says, it comes slow or not at all, right? And those at the top are so scared to fall. So I gotta let it go if I ever want to go anywhere. And that's what happens to a lot of people in our community. Though they want to fight for you, and they're just not going to have the platform they would have if they would just be quiet about situations that happen. Just choke it down. All right, that happened. That's what happens to, people of your hue, and let's leave it at that.
So the narrative is really kind of structured and really made into what the record company want the record to be, and what a lot of artists are frustrated with this kind of music making to make sure certain songs make it through and certain. Let me say this though, he's one of the writers. He knows best because he's one of the writers that they had sit in the rooms and write records. He wrote the whole between him and DOC. They wrote the whole NWA record. NWA was one of the
Okay, that's the Trey King.
So what are y'all talking about?
Trey King picture I'm doing.
Also just being against the system.
rebel against the system, and just if you gotta handle stuff in the street, handle it in the street. What the crazy thing that's being exposed here that y'all niggas gotta start listening to is the fact that the prison systems is owned by the same people who's backing these records that's talking about, you know, the violence and the drugs.
It makes so much
Talking
sense.
about the violence and the drugs, so it can get the young kids' minds into violence
And
and drugs.
I
So
told
they
y'all
can end
that
up in
too, that the prison system, okay, think of it like even when I was in graphic design school. Every time you had a project, the first, and this was the part that I hated. I hated the planning part. I'm sorry, I just wanted to jump straight into designing. But you literally cannot design for any business until you know who the target audience is. That's the first thing. You're gonna come up with a persona. And many times we will make a fake persona, but even though this was a fake persona, we will flesh this person out. This person comes from this background. This person made such and such per year. This person does this for fun. This person does that for this. And I always thought it did not matter, but it does matter in business who you are targeting. If you go after everyone, even on YouTube, you go after everyone, you catch nobody. If you're trying to catch every single fish that is out there, you catch no fish. You got to fish for a certain catch. And the prison system, their target audience is the black man. That is why the black man feels the prison so much more than any other nationality. Now, most people that do not know the system think it is because black men are just more, what's that word? Just more violent and more prone to committing crimes. And it's literally not true. I just told you I was a prison wife for over 21 years. I don't go into prison visit and just see all black men and black families. Baby, I see so many white families and so many Hispanic families, many Hispanic. But you see a whole bunch of white families. But now, the one thing, because you know us, the families of the incarcerated, do gather, do talk, do like when they be playing around about letting us into into visitation to see our loved ones. Girl, we be talking, and the conversation will go, hey, so what's your loved one? How much longer? It usually starts with how much longer does your loved one have? Okay, lady, let's say she's a Caucasian woman. Oh, my husband has maybe 6 more months to go. How much does yours come? This is when the shame looms in on me. Oh, well, I really don't want to talk about it, honestly, because he has 40 years. So he has about another 25, 30 years to go. And they're like, oh my gosh, so what did he do? That's the next thing coming, because you believe to get that much time, he had to have outed somebody, hurt somebody, maimed somebody, did something unthinkable to somebody. And then I tell, first, I have to give the disclaimer, he is wrongfully convicted. Okay, once you get past that disbelief, because you're not going to believe it when I first tell you, then they're like, oh, my husband did such and such and such. And he only he either did something worse, somebody is gone, never to return to this earth again, or it's something that is similar, and he got substantially less time in prison. Or this is his second go round, and now they're sitting him down. He's already gotten out, and now they're sitting him down. Or he had problems with substances, and he did this, and the other, and now they're sitting him down for a while. But most times, he usually always has, almost everybody that I've spoke to, I promise you, and I've been a prison wife for so long, and I've had this conversation many umpteen times. And most times, my husband has the longest amount of time, whether someone was outed, whether there was weapons, it doesn't matter what the crime is, Marcello usually has the longest amount of time. It wasn't until I met Miss Ro Clausen, whose husband had 213 years. And I seen how beautiful that woman was and how she was smiling and gleaming and exuding positivity, and that's what made me believe again. Because usually I had the longest sentence to do with my husband. And when I seen this lady, her husband came home. Her husband came home. But most times the African American is gonna have a longer sentence. This is Marcello's, technically his first strike. Marcello had no priors to this, which they said that was even odd. Nobody with priors, no record, just jumps out and commits robbery. Like usually it should have been something leading up to it. Well, it's because it doesn't make sense because he's wrongfully convicted. You can never make the pieces in Marcello's puzzle fit. In his case, it can't fit because it doesn't fit, because it doesn't make sense. It's a wrongful conviction. So you can never make his case make complete sense as to why he has so long. You know what I mean? But people are unwilling to even hear or, whatever. But the black man is usually going to have the most time. And that explains why our system is made up of mostly black men. Now, you're going to think it's because, the black men are just so much more violent. And you see the violence is coming through the music. We're being in our media, the video games. And violence is everywhere. Like a young black man is going to be, and then they see it outside in their neighborhoods. Like, when do we ever get away from it? Then we don't have the resources. A lot of times our schools do not have the resources that other schools have. So where do we see positivity? I know in the 90s, they had positive outlets. It was the positive music out there. It was things like, I don't know if anybody remembers this, Teen Summit. Maya used to be a dancer on there. That was the first place that I learned about entrepreneurship. I never in my life would have knew anything, probably later in life would have knew, but as a child, I wouldn't have knew anything about such thing as entrepreneurship if I hadn't have seen it on Teen Summit first. But see, that was back when BET was actually putting out content that were geared towards us to better us. But they changed that too, girl. And we were being affected positively. There were black people going out there and starting their own business, starting their clothing line, starting their this and that. And it's just so much. We're influenced by media. Now, everybody is gonna reject that fact and say, oh, no, I'm not. I can understand that that's just entertainment. But honestly, the average person can't. They act out what they see, honestly. And especially a child that has no other guidance. And then, let's say the child's father is missing. Who is to correct that negative action? Who's to tell that child that, hey, that is not how a man is supposed to behave? When the child, successfully, there is no man in the house. So now, how does that child know what they should and shouldn't be doing as a black man? What black man do they see? Like, even back on TV, even the role models of black men back in the day were stronger black men. You had, what's the man off of Good Times? The daddy off of Good Times. That was a strong black man. And he was giving out positivity, like, honestly. That's somebody that you could have looked up to. Yes, it showed the struggle, but though they were struggling, they had morals, they had values, they were a family. Like, they don't even show black men on TV like that as being strong men. They show the black men as constantly getting in trouble with the law, constantly, like, I even had a video about that. I'm like, how are we throwing away all black men? Like, I literally cannot do that because I have a black father. And my black father was in my life. I have black cousins. I have black nephews. I know a lot of positive black men. And guess what else I know? It's not being televised. Trey King. I don't know if he ever had any history of being out there in the street, but right now this man is doing positivity. He's doing stories the way he covers the stories. He ain't covering these stories in no gangstified manner. He's not covering these stories to glorify anything. He's covering stories. He's an entrepreneur. He's out there making money. He's not asking for no handouts. The camera ain't in his face showing you, hey, these are positive black men. The camera highlights the negative. And I also had a saying there. I was like, why, when as black people, when one of us do wrong, we are all grouped judged together. Basically, that's how all of y'all do. Cause they do that to us black women as well. They say all y'all black women, all y'all black women. They group us together too. But it's just worse for the black man. But when one of us do something right, they say, oh no, that was just one. That's just one instance. So they single us out when we do the right thing, which there are a lot of us doing the right thing. But when one does wrong, they group us together and all of y'all are like that. It's like, so of course we're gonna always believe the negative. There are people that don't grow, that they ain't seen a black person miles and miles and miles and miles away. They don't even really know black people like that. Only thing that they know about black people is what they see on TV, see on the news. The news is not going to show you the greatest things about African Americans, and I believe, my opinion, that is on purpose. Right? Because if we show you the worst about black people all the time, that can justify when bad things happen to black people because they kind of deserve it because they do this and do that, so they deserve all that stuff that's happening to them. Like basically, my husband, pretty much just because he's black, he does deserve to be incarcerated. Like literally, his mama should have gave birth and sent him straight on to the prison system. Honestly, like that's I don't know. That I'm not saying that's true. Please don't take that as I'm saying that that's what should have happened, but that's how people feel. And it's sad that they're doing that to babies that basically have not even formulated their personalities yet. The brain ain't even fully developed until what you in your 20s. Brain ain't even fully developed. That brain is still like a ball of clay, like I said in my rap. You gotta mold it and tell them that baby, it'll be okay. You gotta tell him that he is a king and that women's are queen. You gotta tell him to never give up on his dreams. The mind is being molded, but you gotta mold it in a correct manner. Right now, our youth and our black males, their minds are being molded in an incorrect manner. Molded to go ahead on to prison and fill up one of these beds.
Prison that's owned by these corporations, because that's all they are. Trust. They owned by a bunch of trusts and corporations. Why niggas gotta nitpick and always try to, like, why niggas can't look at the big picture? Why niggas gotta be like, oh, they didn't.
Because we can't. It's gonna take. It takes critical thinking. It takes common sense. It takes intellect. It takes more than just taking what someone tells you. It's taking what people tell you, researching for yourself, pulling your answers, deciphering through, does that make sense? If that doesn't make sense, if it is true, show me how it lines up. It's a lot. And most people are not going to do that. They're going to take whatever you say at face value. You said that, okay, it got to be true. It came from the mouth of God. That's why a lot of wrongful convictions happen, because they are not even trying these cases. They're not researching these cases. They're not investigating. They did not a lick of investigation in Marcello's case. None of Marcello's case made any sense. If anybody had even just read the files, they're like, hold on, how can we even charge him? Like literally. But see, there's nothing going into it. Is saying, oh, our good officers arrested him, so they gotta be right. We're just gonna back them, and that's it. We're gonna push this through tooth and nail. He's guilty, and that's even before trial. He's guilty. So it's just kind of one backing the other, siding with each other, and going on and on and on. But we don't look in further. We look at surface level, and that's all that matters. They tell us what it is, and we believe it, and we take it right there, and that's it. We don't look any further, and that's why.
Specifically talk about gangster rap. Like, yo, shut, yo, hold on. Let me put, hold on. Oh, I got to. Because that's retarded as hell. What we talking about here is the big picture. Not rather, they specifically talked about a gang. Like, yo, anybody who listens to hip hop knows that NWA was one of the first to introduce gangster rap. And I don't know if they knew at that time what was going on.
Probably
But
not.
eventually everybody found out, and this was in the late 90s. People knew about these meetings with these corporate entities.
Which I'm about to
That's
say.
backing all these artists to push gangster rap. Because corporations started dictating what the masses.
See, the music. I was a hip hop fan way before hip hop was even. Hip hop was not mainstream. Hip hop, you literally had to search for it underground. And when you had to search for it underground, it was like literally like positive. For the most part, hip hop was positive. But when it became mainstream, when it became one of the biggest genres, and it became that everybody wanted to participate in it, and all the money, see, money corrupts stuff. Once you get money, that's why the justice system messed up. Too much money there. The love of money. And it's not just the money, it's too much of the love of the money that the systems are making. So, I don't know. I don't know, guys.
Is exposed to when it comes
But
to
it
hip hop.
changed.
Because they the ones with the bread and they the ones with the market. To the point it's like, yo, y'all like, yo, like for real. Now I agree. They made songs like F the Police and all that, Rebels Against the System, but it was also some gangster. They rapped about the stuff that they did. Like, well, that easy. That mainly easy.
Yeah, I'm about to say now all them niggas ain't.
Mainly easy. That mainly easy. And the people that in their neighborhoods did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they grew
And
up
who's
around.
telling them? Maybe some of them niggas did.
Gentlemen, can I interject one fact?
That's Jaguar.
They were the prototype
Yeah, the prototype.
for what became gangster rap. The term gangster rap did not exist before NWA. It was just rap.
It was just rap. The only thing
They were
that was Ice-T. Ice-T was supposed to sing.
Schoolie D.
Schoolie D too, but even Schoolie D didn't get dubbed with gangster rap.
Nah, he didn't. That wasn't until like NWA.
It wasn't until NWA. That's when they decided it will work. We can push this out here, and they marketed it.
Yeah, I would say NWA and Ice-T. Because you remember Cub.
So let me put this question out here. Do you think if our hip hop music and rap music hadn't took that detrimental left turn back in the early 90s, would our society be as bad? Would it be so much crime in our neighborhoods? Would our neighborhoods be so like void of resources? Would we be tearing down our own neighborhoods if we weren't told to do these type of things through music, through our own music? And I always say I don't see other genres being fed this stuff through their music. I grew up listening to all types of music. Because, like I said, I grew up in Orlando, Florida. And hip hop definitely wasn't a big part of Orlando, Florida growing up. So you had to listen to pop stations. I listened to rock and roll. I listened to one of my favorite groups was Bon Jovi. I ain't never heard Bon Jovi talking about he was gonna take this one and then it was gonna feed him to the gators in the blah, blah, blah. No, I ain't heard none of that. Or they would have did rock and roll. I'ma feed them to the gators in the blah, blah, blah. And when I see them, it's gonna be on sight. Like they weren't doing that. Why is it in our music? And they say, well, that just reflects our neighborhood. No, it's almost like, how do you find out what came first, the chicken or the egg? Did the detriment in the community come first and then followed the music? Or did the music turn that way and the detriment in the community followed the music? Or did I just say that correct? I don't know, but vice versa. Girl, like what came first? We can't even, because it's been going on, both have been going on so long, and then these tough on crime laws, like is that intertwined in there? Like is there anything else that plays into this? Because what I think is, for the most part, people think these things are all separate. The laws, the prison system, the music, the streets. I believe they're all kind of connected and they're all playing off of one another.
So it's a mix between them two. NWA and Ice-T. Let's just be real. And for real, Ice-T. For real, Ice-T. Because he's the old head. He's the real OG.
But he did not have the same corporate push that NWA got.
They pushed him a different direction. They wanted to make him more toward Hollywood instead of the rap scene. They had different plans for Ice-T. Ice-T is a different, because Ice-T is a different mind than the rest of the niggas. And Cube in too. That's why they picked Cube.
That's why he went solo.
Yeah, these niggas is different minds. And you know what I'm saying? But let's just be
But
real.
what I will say, I have to say this. I have to say this. O'Shea, I can't pat you on the back for saying it now. You should have been said it. You should have been said it. You was worried about the big three. You should have been said it.
But also these artists,
I can't get no act.
these artists are tied into deals and signed into contracts where they can't talk about what they want to talk about. That's also why I'm kind of, glad now that I'm seeing full circle of why I didn't make it in the music industry, how God honestly protected me. Because had I made it, and had I sold out, I never had the heart to sell out. But let's say I did. Because I'd have met some major people, honestly, in the music game. I've also met major people in this justice game too, because the justice it is a game. Even though our activists are people that step out and jump out in front of traffic, go, when something happens to somebody in our community and they right there on site. They be right there on site. A lot of that is a game too. A lot of that is a game. You gotta ask, why they not looking for people who are not in the limelight? Those certain people that run when there's injustice against our community. Injustice, we know, honestly, is happening in our community every day. Some injustice happened today. It's probably covered up. You ain't heard about it because it ain't on the news, it ain't on social media. But some injustice happened. Somebody went to court today. Somebody did. I'm sure somebody somewhere in one of these 50 states were wrongfully convicted today. Or they were forced to plead to something they didn't do to try to salvage their life. I'm sure, I'm almost sure of it, guys. So injustices are happening every day. So why are we only seeing them go fighting for those that get big in the media? The same people. Why are they only running to where the stove is hot? Why aren't we helping those that don't have a voice, like myself? I've literally, and you could say, oh, because they don't know it's happening. No, 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 no. I've given them Marcello Jackson's story. I can't understand why people don't care about wrongful convictions either, but we do care when someone's wrongfully outed. Now, I'm not saying that we should not do anything when people are wrongfully outed, but being wrongfully convicted is just like having your life taken. And it's almost like it's okay until you out us. Once you out us, you went a little too far. So we take everything up until that point. But that's why the outings are happening, because we take so many of the smaller injustices. It's just like I talk a lot about narcissistic relationships and me being an empath, right? And the problem is, the reason people do some of the biggest, craziest things against me is because I've let them go with some of the smallest things for so long without consequence. So when a person know, hey, they don't put up no fuss when we lock them up and ain't got no evidence, and they don't support each other when it happens to them, so we know they can't get out of this on their own. Let's see if we could do this, and they ain't gonna be able to get out of that. So the reason they're doing some of the detrimental stuff is because we never said nothing about the smaller things that happen. We don't stand with one another when some smaller injustice happens to us. Like I'm comparing Marcello being wrongfully convicted to somebody being wrongfully outed. Okay, so Marcello's wrongful conviction sure is gonna be smaller. But we don't even care that Marcello Jackson is spending his life behind bars. And not just Marcello Jackson, that's the whole thing. My husband represents a multitude of men that you'll never know that was somebody's child, somebody's grandson, that was somebody's father, somebody's uncle, somebody's favorite cousin, that we just society, they're gone. And we don't care. We literally don't. So, I don't know.
Slaves. Cool, you saying it now.
Well,
But
let
you
them
should
say
have been
it
said it
now.
because you've been known.
Should have been, but let them say it now.
Why would you
say it now. Change come eventually.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's just let the change come.
Did the same thing in that situation. Let's be real. A lot of people would have did the same, especially then they probably didn't even see the major impact.
And you heard what he just said.
Because young.
If he didn't do it, a lot of people would, and that's the thing. Even though I'm not gonna sell out, there's the next female rapper that is gonna sell out. She would gladly sell out because she's trying to get whatever done that she need done. Maybe she need her baby daddy free and need lawyer money too. Gotta sell out. Okay, where I sell at? Where's the selling line at, girl?
You ain't gonna see the whole picture.
Do not think
Whoever ain't gonna do it, somebody will.
Next generation.
So I'm not completely turning this just on Q, but I'm saying this
Which
is
is why they focus. Which is why the industry focuses on the young.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have lack of life experience.
Yep.
20 years, so 20 years from now, you basically be in that programming mindset of the previous generation of music.
You become a prisoner of a mindset you weren't even aware existed.
Wasn't even shit. Some of them wasn't even born.
I know.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
That
They
shit
don't
was
know.
set up
Yeah, they
before
don't
they was
exactly.
Some of them was even born.
That's true. That's true.
Hand going on now.
Shit,
That's like the house nigga. Listen to me, that's like the house nigga who chased down fellow slaves, beat fellow slaves, held
Yes.
women down while Master was raping fellow slaves, and then finally come back and say, yeah, Master was wrong.
Okay, so I'm reviewing a video. So the views of the video itself are not necessarily my views. So, because Jag get a little reckless with the words she using on YouTube, girl. Man.
Duh. But you was cool with it though. When it was working for you.
Yeah, I think
It didn't become a problem until it created a roadblock.
that's what happened. Q realized that him getting his own lead victory, he's going up against the NBA.
Hold on, guys. I gotta consult really quick.
Entity,
What
and
you got over
he's not
my
gonna get the
shoulder?
same-
I gotta consult really quick with my colleagues.
Now he's kicking out.
You know what I mean? He just better just take it. You ain't gonna never do as good as the machine because the masses are so programmed.
Say hey, this is my manager, my business manager right here, guys.
And you helped.
Say hi.
And you helped.
Say hey.
And that he got
You seeing what she said?
It's
my business manager.
That's when the big Hollywood movies came in.
Y'all wanted to
Right.
what y'all doing?
For implementing gangster rap
Oh,
and getting a good private
I'm
sector,
just
private
finishing
sector
up.
reform was
huh?
getting
I had
private
a
sector
plan,
money,
but
20
I don't
million,
know.
60 million,
What's
6 million
Let me
dollars.
finish this real quick. I'm finishing drawing
Still
this.
worth like 300 million.
it looks nice and
More than
like
anybody's going to get
I
right.
like
Most
this. It
of
looks
us in
nice.
here is going to be worth. Most of us. I ain't going to say all, but most of us. You know what I'm saying? So, like, come on.
Well, you know, I'm
Like, nigga, you
homeless.
got your payment.
She's what?
Homeless.
Homeless?
You got your payment.
And now-
I'm homeless too
And
now.
now that you realize you have hit that classic nigga ceiling,
What?
now you want to say something? Well, now you want to expose the system. It's cute.
But what I can say, I was trying to do it from the get go. That's why they didn't let me in the gates. But I wasn't playing to their tune and then later change what I was talking about. I've been talking about it from the beginning. But that's what Jag is saying, that Ice Cube was actually. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I got my phone fixed now. It can interrupt me during my lives now again. But yeah. So what she's saying is why he didn't come out like that. But also he was young. He didn't really know what was going on. Maybe later he found out what was going on, but he was already bound to be quiet. Like so, now maybe he's more freer and he's using his voice now. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Accolade. Nigga, you been known. You should have been said something.
You see that?
I find it funny how many people are coming out to say something now that Jamie Foxx is disposed.
Yeah, where the hell is James?
Same thing with Madonna. Now Madonna.
Listen, her ass was bound to give out at some point. The girl was doing too much.
Yeah, she was.
She's bound to give out sometime. She's been doing a lot for a long time. See, I've always been a big admirer of Madonna because of her chutzpah, and she's an excellent businesswoman. She know how to make a fucking deal. And even though she has some duplicitous, behaviors, I always appreciated her. Like, I'll never be able to not be thankful to Madonna for giving us Michelle and Deggio.
I did not know that she discovered
A lot
Michelle
of people forget that.
Cello.
It was Madonna that gave Michelle and Deggio her
I
shot.
did not know
And
that.
she's such a brilliant artist, you know?
Okay,
Madonna
guys,
put it
so,
together because so many people was blocking
let's
her, and
stop
Madonna
here.
gave her that lane. And Michelle ran with it for as long.
We've been on here a little minute. Trey King, this is what it's looking like. Money mad now because she done came in and see me working on your piece. And her piece still up there waiting in line. But Trey King, Project Reach the World. We're gonna finish this a little later, and we will finish this discussion. Hip hop connected to private prisons. Girl, should have known it. All right, here's your girl Cadillac.